Hey, I'm Andy Aledort, and I'd like to dedicate another In Deep column to the great Johnny Winter, one of the greatest blues and rock guitar players we've ever known, who very sadly just passed away this past summer. In the last column, I did a little country-style blues, and what I'd like to do this month is a blues shuffle, and it sort of combines some of that country blues finger-picking and melodic single-note ideas, little small chordal figures and arpeggiations that make up Delta blues and Robert Johnson style or Lightning Hopkins. But what I can demonstrate to you is the way in which Johnny would bring that into electric blues, and he did it so well, and it's one of the things that distinguished him from so many other blues guitar players. The way Johnny did it is not something that you're going to hear very often, if at all, in the playing of Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix, guys like that. Johnny did it in a fantastic way, but it still sounded like great blues rock guitar. So here we go. So this 12-bar blues progression, we have a long A, four bars of A, 2 bars of D, a bar of E, then a turnaround. And what I do is, this comes from country blues. I begin with this A7 shape on the top 3 strings. It looks just like D7 down here, but we're up here. You Jimi Hendrix fans will recognize this from the intro to Red House. So even though it's played in a triplet rhythm, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, I'm going from the G string on a downstroke to the B and the high E on the upstroke. And right here, so a little reference to the 4-chord D for a second with this bar, little thumbed bass note, my A root note. And then I'm going to jump down here for your typical root 5th, root 6th. So this kind of figure here, that's a country blues style. So you got to make sure your fingers are all standing up straight. So each of those top 3 strings rings clearly. And then this references the 4-chord. So it's a nice melodic line, but it's very specific because F sharp is the major 3rd of D, A is the 5th, and C is the flat 7th dominant 7th. So this, it might be a single note lick, but it's really just based on a D7 arpeggio. And then at the end there, I'm going to go straight down A minor pentatonic. So the idea is we come from something that's really chordal, into a single note, typical kind of a blues lick. So in that return to the 4 chord in bars 7 and 8, I play that figure like that. So I'm focusing on the top 2 strings ringing together. And then this is cool over the 5 chord E. It's really like an A lick, but this here over E, that's D, the flat 7, and E, the 5th. So these are like sliding 6ths in E Mixolydian. And this here, that's like A. But you know, the whole idea is it's a melodic part. And then this is kind of cool. Over the D, the 4 chord, we go back to our A7 arpeggio, but it's played like this. So you have to bring your pinky in for the root note. Back to that. And then at the end here, I start with this A triad, or you can think of it as A7, like we had done. And then A blues scale. Wrap up with a little chromaticism. The idea with this rhythm part is I'm combining a straight rhythm idea with these little licks that fall in between the vocal phrase. So if I'm singing here, then I'm going to play a little melodic line. And this is just based on an A triad with the 4th in there for a second, so it resolves. Or, so that second time, reference to A. And then in bar 4 there, so again, you get the feeling, you know, the addition of a single note lick, but it's right on the chord. It's very melodic, so it sounds really solid. So what I'm doing is I'm bending the minor third up to the major third, and I have the 5th, so it's just like part of a triad. And I can bring that F sharp, the 6th in there. So I use that shape again over the D. And then I change it a tiny bit by going. So this first little shape here is like D7. And then that's like G over D. And there's my straight D. And then I use that last beat on the 4 chord as a tie-in back to the 1 chord by playing a lick based on A. And then over the 5 chord, I'm going to use that same idea. So this is like G sharp and B, the major third, and 5th of E. But I'm going to get a bluesy sound by bending that minor third into the major third. So it's nice to keep that bent. Just sounds really bluesy. And then I ended up down here. Very Johnny Winter, like to allow those open strings to ring.